Hello, dear Musings on Music readers and now watchers. I'm Carter Freeman. I run this blog. I love all things music, reading, writing, reviewing, listening, of course, and collecting. As you can see, my record collection is right here behind me. I make pretty frequent trips to the record store, and seeing as how Record Store Day was a couple weeks ago at this point, I thought it'd be cool to just kind of go through some of the things I've bought lately and just kind of talk about each of the records. You know, some of them are things that I might have already reviewed on the website, and I can link those in the description below of this video, but it's still fun just to love on some physical media in my mind. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly run through some of the things I've gotten lately, and hopefully you think they're cool, because I definitely think they're cool. So I have mostly 12-inch records, a couple 7-inches, but starting out is one of my favorite albums of 2025 so far. Got to get the year right. It would be The Crux by Joe. It's a album that is definitely influenced a lot by the music that Joe Keery, aka Steve from Stranger Things, what he listened to probably while filming that. I hear a lot of Chicago, a lot of the Cars, a lot of late 70s, early 80s kind of pop music. But he does it really tastefully. I find it really tastefully, and it's catchy, and there's an earnestness to it that I really enjoy. Nothing special about the record itself. It's typical black vinyl, as most of these will end up being, but I do love this record a lot. I did write a full review on it, which I will put in the description of this video. An album that I should just write my feelings on, or just talk about it here, is AM by Arctic Monkeys. This was a formative record for yours truly. Back in college, there were many a lonely night, many a not lonely night, just many a night spent listening to so many of these swaggering stadium rock songs that the British rock band just perfected on this record. I mean, the very first song, Do I Want to Know? It was one of those songs, the second you hear it, you just know it's going to be a massive hit. And then it goes into Are You Mine, Arabella. I mean, it's just hit after hit after hit, and I think it's a fantastic rock record. It's one of the best of the 2010s. I don't know why I didn't have it until recently, but now I do. AM, Arctic Monkeys, What's Not to Love? Also, What's Not to Love? And if you don't love this band, you just need to stop watching this video now, or just don't ever interact with me again. ABBA, I mean, when you see a 7-inch of songs from Voulez-Vous, Does Your Mother Know, which definitely has not aged well, but it is still a catchy song. So, you know, we can appreciate one part of it, maybe not the other part. And then Kisses of Fire. I mean, Voulez-Vous is a really fun album. I think that some of ABBA's other records, like Mamma Mia, definitely get more of their love, but I'm a big enjoyer of all of their discography. It's just music that makes you smile. Arrival is the other ABBA album that you might have heard of, but Voulez-Vous, title track's fun. You know, these songs are fun. Why would I not grab this? And another 7-inch that I saw at the local record store would be, holding it upside down, so hopefully it doesn't fall out. This is a Badfinger 7-inch with, can you see there? Baby Blue. You know why I bought this? This is the song that ended Breaking Bad. So, sorry, spoiler alert, when Walter White's laying there dying on the floor in the final episode, that is the song that played. So that song has always stuck with me. And when you see it at the record store, you buy it. Or at least when it's $2 like it is for all the used 7-inches at my record store, you get it. This is an album, Floating Points, Pharoah Sanders, and the London Symphony Orchestra. If it sounds like a lot, it kind of is, but it's also not, if that makes any sense. It's one of the most cosmic spiritual jazz records you'll ever hear in your entire life. It's basically one single chord structure, repeated over and over in multiple different ways. There's 9 movements. Each of them just has an incredible, for being that one chord repeated over and over again, it is just an absolute journey. I mean, Pharoah Sanders passed away in recent years, but this is just one of those albums that just the true soul of his saxophone is evident every point that he's on this. And he's not on every song, but when he is there, it is captivating stuff. It's kind of hard to explain without just hearing it, but I never thought just a single chord structure would be this captivating, but it definitely is. I saw this one of my trips, didn't get it, went back the next time, wasn't there. Very disappointed in myself, but third try was a charm, because the next time I went back after not finding it the first time, it was there for me. I own it now. Wonderful record from, I believe, 2021 is when that one dropped. But another one of my favorites, this actually is my favorite album of 2025 so far. And it's interesting because Forever How Long, Black Country New Road, on streaming services, this cool dude that you see here is red. But on this physical release of it, he's blue. And so is the record, which I'll pull out here and show you, dear viewer. The Black Country New Road is a band that could have fallen apart after their lead singer, Isaac Wood, left prior to the release of their last record back in 2022, I think it was. But the 6 remaining members came together, and the level of their post-rock, their Baroque rock is so tight. It really feels like on this record, which you can see is a nice blue, just kind of light blue. It's not clear, but it's just, I don't know, something about it. It fits when the dude on the front is blue. You know, if he's red, I would expect it to be red, but he's blue, record's blue, both of them are. It's a double LP. But like I was saying, just the level of detail that the band puts into their work here, whether a song is 2 minutes, 3 minutes, which I never thought a Black Country New Road song could be short like that. I mean, they're a band that's, you know, they've got a lot of long songs, which are great. I love them for that. But to hear it condensed into basically like a pop single is incredible. They still have a couple songs that are a little longer. The 3 women in the band take over vocals. They all do amazing jobs. It is truly the work of 6 artists, as opposed to what their work felt like previously, where it was the lead singer and a backing band. I mean, this is the band coming together to create some of their best work ever. I think it's fantastic. I do have a full review of this one, which I will link below as well. But when I saw that, I had to grab it. And I also had to grab this, Record Store Day. It's first of a couple Record Store Day things I got. Air, Moon Safari is a 90s, just one of the best albums of the 90s, a true blue bliss of just airy synth pop. It's so relaxing. It's so sophisticated. Doesn't matter if you speak French or not. It is something you can relax to. And these are some demos and live recordings of some of those songs. They sound wonderful. I think anything that came from this album's recording sessions is bound to be a hit in my mind. And it comes on a cool, nice white vinyl. Something about white on records just looks nice to me. It always has, maybe because they're normally black, but just the white contrast there has always been one of my favorites. I'm very much like a bird to a shiny object when it comes to records that are colored, so all the white ones I think are pretty sweet. And having listened to that, I mean, all those songs, they sound great. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm bad about talking about stuff in the middle. You know, usually I love something and I'll just love it up, or I hate it, and I'm really good at tearing it apart. But I don't buy music I hate. Case in point, the Cars. I mean, my name's Carter. How could I not love a band called the Cars? You might think from Heartbeat City, which is the B-side on here, and also had to pick up Just What I Needed. I mean, Just What I Needed, I think, is their best song from their first album, the self-titled one. And Tonight She Comes is the B-side on there. Fun fact about the Cars and their first record, which the self-titled one, they wanted to call it the Cars' Greatest Hits, which is just incredibly bold for a band that hasn't even released a single album yet, but they would have been right. Those are 9 of their best songs that the band ever recorded. And I could listen to them over and over and over. Usual pop rock stuff if you don't know the Cars. And if you don't know the Cars, go listen to the Cars. Next is one of my favorite albums from 2024, Paradise State of Mind by Foster the People. It's the first album by Foster the People I really thought was like a good full album. I mean, you know, they've had some fun songs like Pumped Up Kicks or Don't Stop or Candles on the Wall, or I don't know. I don't even think that's a Foster the People song. But point being, they had some fun singles, but never any full album that I thought was really great. And this one I did think was great. I love the just breezy synth pop that they do across the whole thing. See You in the Afterlife was the lead single for it. That's a really fun song. Lost in Space, I think, is the best. And when it comes on transparent pink vinyl, how does one say no? You can see me through the record there. So I know this made my top 50 albums of 2024. I'll just throw that in the description too. Why not? I mean, I write a ton for Musings on Music, and I love telling people about it. So we'll throw that in there too. But yeah, it's a fun record. Nothing to complain about there. Dire Straits, Walk of Life, from probably their poppiest album, their most popular album. I don't think it's their best. I think their first album is just more organic than some of this stuff, more the MTV era Dire Straits stuff. But I do love Walk of Life. I don't even know if this has a B-side or not. It does. Or does it? Question mark? One World is the song on the B-side. I know I've spun this, but I didn't remember the other song. And plus, it's not even, One World's not even on the back of this thing. It's literally just Walk of Life, which, yeah, Walk of Life's great, but put 2 songs on there. And there's 2 songs on the vinyl, so put 2 songs on the description. Come on, Mark Knopfler. One of the best albums of 2024, Here in the Pitch by Miss Jessica Pratt. This is hazy, chamber pop, chamber folk. Jessica Pratt's voice sounds like it's about to break at any moment, but it never does. It's the perfect guide through all of these just beautiful, gorgeous songs that she's crafted here. There is just no shortage of something that is worth getting lost in. And it's like 25 minutes. I mean, it's over before you know it. And there's so much to keep going back and just discovering across it. I think this was number 3 on my top 50 albums of 2024. I love this record, if you couldn't tell. Another band I love, and I've gotten really into lately, I wrote a full review, a retro review of their best, what I think is their best album, A Night at the Opera. That's Queen. And when you see Fat Bottom Girls and Bicycle Race, you don't say no. I love Josie Records here in Dallas because $2 7-inch records, I mean, especially when you can get, multiple Queen ones like I did. I mean, I don't know what's better than that. Listening to some of their later stuff like A Kind of Magic or I Want It All, it's so interesting to see, the way they developed into the pop bands, the, masterclass of stadium anthems that they, ended up making, if that makes any sense. Makes sense to me. But some of their earlier stuff was included on this Record Store Day release. These are the Delane Lee demos. These are the demos that got Queen their first ever record deal. And there are 5 songs from their self-titled debut, just Queen. It's cool hearing them in a raw form, and some of the songs aren't that different from what you end up with on the full-length record, but then you have on the second side, Jesus and Liar from that album are more experimental, they're longer, they're just different. So it's really cool hearing the progression from, where these songs started versus where they ended up. And of course, the song Great King Rat is included. And who doesn't love a song called Great King Rat? But yeah, this was from Record Store Day this year. This was one I was really hoping to get, and the store I went to had a couple copies, so came away happy. This was a fun one I found at, I believe, Half Price Books. I think I found this at Half Price Books. The Motels, the name of the album is Little Robbers. I saw the Motels at a 80s one-hit wonder concert years ago. They were fun. I think the big song that they played there was, one of them was Suddenly Last Summer, which is on here. But this is a band my dad liked, in the 80s too. So it's always fun, reminiscing on stuff with him. So I thought I could go ahead and grab this. So I did. Talking Heads. I'm going to grab a Talking Heads record, especially if it's burning down the house. The Talking Heads later stuff isn't as good as their earlier stuff in my mind, but it is still Talking Heads. There's no going wrong with it, especially when I Get Wild and Wild Gravity is the B-side. And some of the songs from Speaking in Tongues that aren't the big hits are the most fun ones to me. I actually did forget one record right here, Talking Heads Live on Tour 78. If there's a Talking Heads album released on Record Store Day, I'm going to buy it. So I did. Next up, Run the Jewels, the original, This is one of the hardest hitting rap albums of 2013, another formative record from my college years. And this is a reprint of that release that came on pretty cool translucent orange. The translucent ones are cool, you know, just depending on how translucent they are. I have a couple, you know, somewhere strewn across behind me that are completely like Coke bottle clear. And those are cool just to see the way they spin when they're on the record player. But great album. I think the only Run the Jewels album I don't have on record now is Run the Jewels 3. I know I have 2 and 4, and I was missing this one. And 3 is my least favorite, but I love me some Run the Jewels and some Killer Mike. So I'll pick that up at some point. You know, if there's a Taylor Swift release on Record Store Day, I was going to grab it. The smart thing that the record store I went to up in Oklahoma did was, because a lot of people were there just for this fortnight and a remix of it from Tortured Poets Department, they put this at the checkout line, so you couldn't just grab it and go. They wanted you to look through the rest of the store, which I thought was smart. And it is on a white little record there. So there you go, Taylor Swift. I have not seen this selling for as much as the one that was from 2 record store days ago, the Long Pond Sessions, but it is a 7-inch versus a full LP, which of course I got that one too, whenever that happened. And speaking of girly pop, I love me some Olivia Rodrigo. I don't relate to a lot of the stuff she sings about, but damn it if she doesn't do it in a fun, freaking awesome way. Some of the most blistering, most fun, heartfelt, and emotional, all wrapped into one, pop punk, punk adjacent, just pop music of the last couple of years. I thought this was a huge improvement over her first album, and I liked her first album. So that's how much I like this one from back in 2013. A couple more 7 inches here. This is Femi Kuti, Pa Pa Pa, and Free Your Mind. You can see it's popping out there. Just regular black record, but some fun Afro pop. And this was what I wanted to get the most from this record store day. That was Venom's In from Panda Bear's most recent album, which is another of my favorite of this year so far. I'll throw that review down there as well. Just a single song, and Venom's In isn't even my favorite song from, what is that album called? Sinister Grift. But I read there were only 750 copies of this made for all of Record Store Day, so I wasn't expecting to pick one up. My record store had 2, and I was like 75th in line. So either they had plenty, they all went to Norman, Oklahoma, or nobody else picked them up before me. Whatever the reason, I'm glad I got it. Coming to the end here, this was another Record Store Day pickup. Vegan, who I guess is a British producer, did a full remix of Moon Safari, the album that I got the B-sides of earlier, also Record Store Day. This is on a blue vinyl. I don't really want to pull it out of the casing right now, but it's interesting. There's honestly not a whole lot that's really different to me about this than the original. You know, it's definitely a remix album, but it's very close in line with, I guess what you'd expect from the original. But the original music's good. The remixes are good. Anything coming from Moon Safari is good. That is my official Carter review. I don't have to write a full review of that just to tell you that that album is freaking great. How about The Who? Who Are You? The last album that Keith Moon was a part of before he died. Very young. Really, not even The Who's anywhere close to being The Who's best album, but Who Are You? Sister Disco. There's a couple hits on here, and you know, it wasn't that expensive. So I thought, why not? And I also thought, why not on, this is the last Record Store Day pickup I have here. These are some B-sides from Waxahachie's last album, Tiger's Blood, came out last year. Another record I enjoyed a lot from last year. And I wasn't really looking for it when I walked into the store on Record Store Day, but you know, seeing it there and just being in the mood to get a bunch of new records, I did enjoy that album a lot. These B-sides are pretty good. I'd stick with the main record. Tiger's Blood is a very good Americana folk album, but these are some fun B-sides. And when it's Record Store Day, man, you just go crazy. If you're irresponsible with your money like me. I'm not that irresponsible. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Last but not least, Spoon, They Want My Soul. The best rock album of 2014? I'd have to go back and look. I don't think I ever really did any sort of ratings that year, but this was a 10-year anniversary re-release. There's a lot of demos and a lot of, rough recordings and stuff on here, which is cool. But the original record, Do You, Inside Out, Taxi's Here, New York Kiss, it is just banger after banger. This is Spoon's best record, I think. And yeah, I didn't own it, and now I do. So happy to say I'm the proud owner. Yeah, so now I own it. So there's that. So yeah, those are some of the albums that I have picked up lately. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I did not really have a dismount for this. So I will just say thank you if you made it through to the end. I appreciate you watching this and reading on my blog. If you're not subscribed, I'm not asking for you to subscribe as a paid customer. I would just love an email subscription. And just, yeah, keep checking out my work. I'm trying to grow this thing and see where it takes me. So appreciate you watching. Keep supporting Musings on Music, and I will see you in the next vinyl update in a couple months. Until then, peace.